Welcome to Life Lessons for a Time Such as Now. Today's topic is, what is mental health versus physical health?
Hi, Chris.
Hi, ladies. How y'all doing? I know
Hey,
I'm just
Chris.
all rude right now. Let me say hi
Hi.
to
Yeah,
my
yeah. You want a little
compadres.
back? A little
That's
bit rude, a
right,
little
A
bit
little
Renee.
bit,
rude,
but
Gonna
but
it's all good. We
it's
take
all
help you
that
out. Don't
forgiven.
worry.
Yeah,
We
it's
chance.
all
got you.
forgiven. Hey.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hey,
We all want to welcome you all to Life Lessons for a Time Such as Now. Renee, Tracy, Joanna, and myself. So welcome. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
hi.
Well,
Yes.
again, we're going to start off with what is mental health versus physical health. And the link between mental health and physical health is generally misunderstood because the mind and the body are considered two separate entities. But oftentimes, these two entities need to work together for our own well-being. Right, ladies? Our mental
True.
health can directly affect our physical health and vice versa. And that is so true, and it is misunderstood. So, we have our little therapist here, on a panel, who's gonna,
Uh-oh.
shake it up a bit. You
Uh-oh.
hey, do it, girl.
She doing it
Hey,
bad.
Looking all good,
Hey.
looking all good, all up in Yeah, look
Hey.
space, looking good.
hey.
all good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
So
I'm feeling like I'm looking like my mama right now, but
Yeah, you
that's
are.
all right, all right.
shout out to Cookie. When it comes to
Shout out to Cookie.
physical and thank you, Trey, and mental health, I like that, Chris, the link between the two. So this is how I really was introduced to, God rest my mother's soul, again, Cookie, shout out to the mental health versus the physical health piece. When my mom passed, and God bless every survivor of this, is also Cancer Awareness Month. Please go get your
Yes.
mammograms, do your screening. Please like and share and let us know and give a comment that you did that. It's very near and dear to our heart on many different levels, reasons why.
Absolutely.
We are very supportive of the Cancer Society. My mother passed away at the age of 56 from breast cancer. And it's safe to say that during that time, I didn't really know very much about that disease. And I can remember prompting my mom, like, to go get, because she had a heart attack when my younger brothers, my mother had two sets of boys that were later born, and those boys were born on the precipice of her just barely making it at later, which we now know is a risk at 40 something to have children. And when that happened, I can remember being so stoked, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my mother to this heart attack, right? And but she survived, and then my brothers were born. But I remember always telling her, like, go to the doctor, go to the doctor, like, make sure you check out your doctor, do what the doctor says. And again, if you're following us, we're talking about a lot of this trauma that happens, and in our community, we fail to go to the doctor. And so to me, the link and the connection is that I watched my mother go into a very, very, very deep depression after she had already had failed health, then also linked that to being diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. It was too much on her to have to bear, like, if you will. So her mental health really failed. And so years, not very long later, I'm, riding on the bus in New York, and I really could never stop crying. And I didn't know that I was actually grieving. And I have to give out a shout out to Tracy for being there during that time, and being, as much as she was a sister friend type for me. There were times when I was alone and I didn't understand, why am I crying so much? And I later learned that I was actually grieving. So when I went to a doctor, I was embarrassed. I went to a physical doctor on Park Avenue, and she said to me, listen, if I told you you had high blood pressure, what would you do? You would go to the doctor. And I was like blown away, like the connection that she helped me make. For as much as I would want to take care of my physical health, I will also need to take care of my mental health. And then that was the first time that I went to get into physical, walking myself into a place and saying, I need help, mental health, right? And saying that I'm here because I don't know why, I just keep crying. And I can't stop. And so um for me, when we talk on this subject, it's very near and dear to me, because I love that what you said, for our own well-being, sis, right? Um, what might affect Trey or Joanna or even you, Chris, you know, in terms of a loss, it may hit each and every one of us different. But at some point, what I find is that we will grieve.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever way that grieving moment is going to come for us, once you cross over into grieving, you're in now mental health. So some of the things that happen to us are because of our physical health. It's not too many of us that die because of mental health, unless it's, and I hate
Right.
to say this because we are going to be sponsoring some numbers and things, but not unless it leads into suicidality or schizophrenia, where, you know, where you do something and now you're institutionalized and you're just morbid and dead. You're not physically actually dead, but societal wise you are.
Mhm.
And you no longer have a stretch in life that you can depend on, other than medication. And so it generally, to me, needs to be spoken about because of the fact that we'll take care of, at some rate, we might take care of our physical health. But here we are again, back to the conversation of, will we take care of our mental health as much as what we see is a necessity? If somebody says, you're going to have a heart attack, stop eating. What do you think, Joanna?
I agree. I agree with what you said. Um, my thing with mental health, that kind of, hits me a little hard too, because I know I have family members that are going through it, and their mental health is issues with, like, maybe schizophrenia, maybe. And I've noticed in today's time, especially after COVID and people had to be locked down, a lot of people couldn't handle it.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, maybe it was dormanted until COVID, but after that, most of them came out with issues, more issues than when COVID started, for some. And it just, I really am upset with the health professions, because they don't even allow family members to check someone in. Remember back in the days, I guess a lot of it I've seen from TV because I never experienced it. But if you had someone that you felt needed to be locked up, what do they call it? Bellevue, G
Checked in.
building.
Yeah, you check them in.
You check them
Yeah.
in. Now they have to want to go in, or
Yeah.
they have to either, I guess it's about hurt somebody or kill somebody for someone to say no, they need to be checked. Other than that, they won't check. And then if they do go in, what happens is the family member, they'll call a family member and say, hey, give us some details about this person. And you tell them he or she needs to be put in there for at least 30 days longer. And they say, well, we can't hold them. She ain't showing sign. They are smart, intelligent people. But there's no way we can get our family and loved ones help if they're not taking the medicine. And I think at some point, before they hurt someone or themselves, they should take medicine. They should be required. Like, so I know there's a lot of people out here fighting for mental health, and I know there's more that I can do. And I hope to do it. I hope to get more involved with the mental health, because it could be me one day, God forbid. We don't know where we're going with this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Joanna and Renee. Yeah, that was awesome, and how you basically described what it is and what it looked like through your own experience. And by the way, your mother Cookie, shout out to her. she was like my aunt, she was like my
Yeah.
aunt. So, yeah, I would have done that for you at any time. But in any case, yeah,
Thanks.
so mental and physical health to me, it intertwines, right? Because the mind controls the whole body, right?
Right.
So without the mind, the physical part, it just doesn't work. So I really and truly believe that, if your mind is not, on point to know that, hey, I need to be well, because if you're not well mentally, you're not well physically.
Right.
Right. And I know, like, even with some people in like who's going through depression, sometimes they won't eat, or some may overeat, right, due to that. So it's really serious, and we do have to find a balance. And how do we heal ourselves, and making it better for us and our families, and eventually avoid those traumas that we just talked about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. Because mentally and all this, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nay. All that stuff, stress is like second cousins to all of that. And the saying that stress can kill you. You know what I mean? Because our mind is constantly working, you know, in all kinds of different directions. And before you know it, physically, you start breaking down, hence, the stomach problems, cancer or whatever. Some of this stuff, I believe, and I'm not a therapist or anything, I believe our mental state sometimes more than most break down our bodies, and then we become sick with certain diseases, and not only just being tired, but we begin to become toxic with our emotional mess that physically it starts breaking us down.
I mean, yeah, I think that we don't need to be, therapists in order to be able to become self-aware of our bodies, Crystal, and that it really speaks to the fact that um, when you talk about stress as our second cousins, um, we know that we've already expressed that how much we've been traumatized and transgenerational trauma and how it holds in our bodies. And if you think about it, gout, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, I even suffer migraines. Thank God I have none of those other things. But I do have skeletal issues. And so I have degenerative disc, and I have developed the sciatica, and I think that stress on my body, sometimes I notice when it's over the top for me stress wise, or anything that may be going on with me and I haven't centered myself emotionally, it comes out in a migraine headache, right? And so, I'll have the migraine headache, and I'm just saying, I'm using myself as a placebo to say, like, okay, I know that, if you will, my mental health, it needs to be checked. And so it's always like that, what we've been talking about for shows now, that balance, and that if you know that you're getting a lot of migraines, then you might need to check like where your stress level is at. You know what I mean? If you start feeling like you're feeling dehydrated, then you need to know that you need to start drinking water, because I've ended up in the hospital, and we talked about that, how we go and we go and we go. And it's because of something so simple as I wasn't drinking water. And I didn't even know that we can have such thing as low pressure, Trey. We can have low blood pressure to the point where we don't even know we're about to check out, let alone the stroke and the heart attack and all the aneurysms and all of those.
Yeah.
We're just talking about you not even drinking water, And so when we think about, and I'm going to throw Joanna, on top of the bus, because my girl made some dumplings with collard greens, chickpea starch, less
gumbo,
pasta, gumbo, some
collard
collard
green
green
gumbo.
gumbo. Thank you, Trey.
It's called collard green gumbo.
Never heard of it.
That was good.
Okay.
Immediately I thought about healthy eating.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
not trying to be funny,
Yeah.
but the last time since y'all seen me over this year, I've lost 46 pounds.
All
Nice.
right.
And
Congratulations.
Love
thank
it.
you.
Yes.
And
Love
you
it.
know, and still
Awesome.
counting. I want to be the size I was when I had my last child. You ain't gonna be telling me nothing then, you know,
Mm,
Now, what size
because
was that?
I'm saying like, come on, what size? That's a size, real size 12. That ain't no 12 pushing
Get
to
it.
16.
mm.
Now we be like, I wear 12, but you know you're 14 and a half.
Right, right.
But you feel me? But it's because I was like conscious, and you know what I learned? My doctor said more greens, less whatever, starch,
Right.
meat, whatever it is, the protein. And when I heard Joanna say that, I was like, I'm gonna get that recipe, because anything that is going to help, especially at a certain age. Come on, ladies. Now,
Mm,
y'all young girls
yeah.
out there, y'all may be able to get away with it a little bit longer, but after a certain,
Well, truth.
I know, past 30,
Mhm.
you start going a little more
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my
right?
God.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Anybody feel me on that with the
I feel
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at
Yeah.
some of they, yeah, they can look at some of their celebrities. Look at Salt. Look at, I'm just saying,
Right.
these
You
are
saw them
women,
on the
our
show. And I know that I
generation.
love you, Salt and
Yeah.
Pepper.
What show? I'm
Right,
sorry,
but
what show?
Yeah.
They was a
yeah,
little,
they
they
had
was
a
a little thicker
show.
than me.
Little
Let me just
chunky.
say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, anyone.
Especially
If you
like Salt,
look,
yeah.
All
look
of
at
them.
most of them that was slim or small, I should say, all of us, we all after a certain age kind of like win another round.
Right,
Right.
And we
right.
still look good though. We still look
Yeah.
good though. We still look
Yeah,
good.
but
Yeah.
what did that do to our mental health?
Yes.
Yeah.
It interfered.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
you get
Nice.
anxiety, you get depression, you get,
Yep.
you know, you look at it and you go, dag, and what is your weight?
Come on now. Come on
We
now.
are our hardest critics,
Right.
right? Yes, yes, our
Right.
hardest critics. And here it is, to add on it, we're not where we used to be, or
Mm.
you know, body weight wise. So people say, but oh, you don't look bad, or you're not that big, but I'm feel big for me.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? So,
Right.
oh my God. So yeah, it's a lot of things that plays a hand in mental illness.
And that's so
Okay.
true. I know a past episode, I talked about garbage in, garbage out. Well,
Mm,
that still stands true, right? For our mental and our physical health. So
nice.
we're eating garbage, right? We're gonna feel garbage, and it's gonna start from the mind, just like what Joanna
Mhm.
said, depressed. And I didn't even realize that, until
Mhm.
maybe a year or so ago, that wow, the food that I was eating was
Mhm.
actually assisting in making me depressed. Because I
Mhm.
would say, why am I
Yeah.
so down? Why am I so sad?
Mm.
Well, it's because of the garbage that I was putting in my body.
Right.
Right? It also affects our brain.
Yes.
So, once we start, and let me just say, audience, I'm not there yet. Okay. I am working hard at eating much better than what I used to, but I am better. That's the key word, right?
Yes.
So let's do this together. Let's just work hard at eating better, because if we eat better, we feel better.
Yep.
I go with that.
Yep. It's just like they're
Yes.
saying, you are what you eat.
True.
Yes.
And that's really true. That's really true. With my
It is.
diagnosis of being a diabetic, I began to eat a lot better. So I never understood why I felt so weighed down when I had sugar. It's like the sugar would sit dead in my stomach, and then I become sluggish and everything. But I noticed once I cut out the sugar, I mean, I still eat it, but I eat it in moderation. And I don't eat a whole lot of junk foods. I don't eat a whole lot of processed foods either. So I do try to stick with my greens and my vegetables and things like that, so I can physically feel great, and also mentally, because it does help. It really does, knowing that you're eating well and you're feeling well. So yeah, I would encourage that we eat more greens and eat healthier for both our mental and physical well-being.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with
Yep.
that. And
Yeah, Joanna, because you look good too now. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's what I was gonna speak upon.
Yeah,
Like,
you do.
I was one of those women, like I had 2 kids and I was only weighing 125. Okay. I'm proud of that. I don't care.
Did you feel that
But-
snack?
I know,
did. I
right?
was like, was that for me? That dang.
No, that was
But-
your 125. Come on.
One,
Mhm.
I'm not kidding. And
Yeah.
but when time went on, I got bigger. I think the biggest I got had to be like 230 pounds.
Are
Wow.
you kidding me? Really?
Wow.
Yes. So what I do, I had to go to surgery. Well, to be honest, I had two traumatic events, which led me to getting the surgery as well. That surgery. So within 2 years, I had 3 major surgeries.
Wow.
So I had to get the gastric bypass surgery because I wasn't able to do it on my own, for whatever reason. And so now I'm down to 134.
Nice.
Wow.
Stand up, but
Nice.
I might not have
Nice.
no pants on, but
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's
That is
good. That's
remarkable.
good. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I
is,
haven't seen 130 in about at least a good 20 years.
yeah.
no, but I
Awesome.
feel good though.
I
Right.
know
And you
you.
look great. When
Yeah,
I
she
seen
Yeah.
you in the video, I was like, wow, all of you ladies look great, and I just have to say that when I didn't, you gain this weight and you're not even realizing, like Tracy, you said, like, why am I feeling so sluggish? Everybody's saying, why am I depressed? Why am I not, why am I feeling well? That weight, you carrying that around with you.
Mhm.
Oh
And
yeah.
so that's the connection there with the mental health, because something is wrong. And so if you know it, then you need to change it. And once, like I said, what I stopped, and I don't recommend this, what I stopped doing is saying, I'm going to lose XYZ pounds, right?
Right.
Forget that.
Yep.
Too much
I just
pressure.
I
eat
stopped there
healthy.
too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
Mhm.
eat healthy. I treat myself. And then when I'm full, if I want a dessert, I have it. I don't, whatever the case. And let me just say this for a special reason. Alcohol adds weight.
Oh
Just
yeah,
so
I
you
know that. That's
with
the
the
only
Absolutely.
thing.
Yes,
depression,
it
you
does.
have a
Yeah.
drink,
Listen,
you have
some
a
things
cocktail,
you can't help.
right, or a brewski, and okay, or you end up eating them late night snacks, and Chris can make
Right.
the meanest cakes and pastries. So
Yeah.
she's over there talking about she's diabetic, which I respect, and I'm sorry, no disrespect, but she be making the sugary sugars, okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
how, can you resist that? It's Thanksgiving time, people. We getting ready to come up on holidays, coming up on people eating candy, your sweet tooth, all of those things. We need to just be mindful, because we know
Right.
that it's going to lead to depression. We know it's going to lead to anxiety about the weight and losing the weight and all of that. And unfortunately, some of it comes into it being surgeries. And I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're okay, Joanna. So
Yeah.
Yes,
I want to
thank
say,
you.
I want to say something real quick about that. It's not that you cannot have those things. You have to do it in moderation.
Moderation.
So, yes, I don't, because I make cakes and pies and stuff, I don't eat it. You know what I mean? So I have cut back on it if I can't give it away. So I eat very little of it. And we don't want to forget also with eating well and all that stuff, don't forget that we need to exercise. If it's just a walk, take
true.
a walk, some stretching, because all of that is a part of, physical health and mentally, because, I feel good after we walk around, the track a couple of times and do some exercise. So, we need to start exercising more too. Put that in our daily routine with everything else that we're doing for our mental and physical well-being.
Yes. Tracy, you got any last thoughts?
Yeah. So I just want to just touch again on the struggle with eating desserts. So that's my kryptonite. Yeah. So since
Yeah.
we're talking, this is like our AA, if you will. For me, yeah, it is chocolate cake,
Yeah.
soft chocolate chip cookies or peanut butter cookies or oatmeal cookies. It is anything sweet, I'm down.
Right.
Excuse me.
So-
Don't forget the iced tea.
Sweet
Wow.
iced tea.
So let me just tell you guys. So, yes, I am
She
addicted
found a new
to.
tea, Chris.
Yes, I am addicted to iced tea. However, Crystal failed to mention that I don't get the sweetened iced tea anymore. I used a sweetener, a natural organic sweetener.
Well, I didn't get
Yeah.
credit for saying that you took away the sweet tea. Jeez,
Did you say
didn't
it?
give me
I didn't hear
credit.
you. Oh, okay.
You gotta
Thank
be
you.
tea, yeah.
Thank you, Renee, for having my back.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
just
well, I
saying.
just
you,
want to put
Renee,
it
for
out there.
having my
You was
back.
running
All right.
down, you know,
Okay, well, I'm
don't
just
forget
trying
the
to say,
tea.
okay.
All right.
But guess
That
what,
was
though,
my
Crystal?
last
words.
But Christopher, guess what though? That was my
Okay.
story. So if I, omitted the iced tea, then mind your business.
Wow.
You are my business, so I'm going to tell it.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Wow.
Are you your sister's
Life
keeper?
lessons.
Right. Are you your sister's
Right.
keeper?
Yes, did y'all get that?
Right.
Right.
Wow.
Proceed.
So as you see,
It's
today's
real.
show
Right.
on mental health. I just want to read out a quote real quick. Taking care of your mental health is an act of self-love. You are worthy of happiness and a peace of mind. There is no shame in seeking help for your mental health. It's okay to take a break and prioritize your mental health. So, listeners, please, I hope you enjoyed today's show, today's topic. Please like, share, subscribe. And remember, send us a comment. Let us know what you're dealing with. Maybe we can help you. Maybe you can send us advice to help us.
Nice.
So that would end our session for today's life lesson for times such as now.
Yes. Please
Good
take care
night,
of your
ladies.
mental and physical health.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yes.